just being love is going to help it out in the end and connecting with community. I really want to start gardening.
Welcome back to the podcast. For those of you who may not know, we record these episodes kind of in batches, so it's not always up to date, and sometimes we go a little while between recording sessions. And so that's kind of what happened this time. It's been a couple of weeks since we've actually talked face-to-face. We've been super busy. I was on a trip. You've had 2 or 3 festivals, I think, that we haven't had a chance to catch up and talk about. Obviously, we text all the time, but we haven't gotten this is kind of our first chance to kind of just catch up and talk.
Yeah. Hunter and I, we always yap just too good off camera, so we figured we'd start the yapping session on the podcast so that we actually have something to yap about that's like good. I don't know. But yeah, I have done, it was actually one festival, correct yourself.
Yes, my apologies.
Yeah, correct yourself. Okay, so first I did Showcation, which is a festival where it was like camp. So you got handed out colors to a team. So it was like red, purple, yellow, blue. And that was so exciting. It was at Camp Bramblewood where I did Lucid Dream. So it was kind of nice. It was a really small event. And I think it's like so good that these events, these first 2 festivals of mine were small because it's like helped me ease in, and it's also like soul family that's there. So like I really connect with everyone, because like when you get to a bigger festival, like let's say Lost Lands, that's like so many people, and it's like frat people and people that aren't, I don't want to say like not connected, but you know, they're there to party. They're there to party, and like I'm at these festivals because I want to heal and share my art and the love, obviously. But oh my, speechless over this event, because so I can't even explain it. I didn't think any of my friends were going to be there. I thought I wasn't going to know anyone, but turns out a lot of my friends that were at Lucid Dream that I met there were there here, so it's really nice that I got to like immediately be greeted by people I knew.
So how did you get into this job then? Was it something that you met? How did you get wrapped into it?
They literally messaged me after Lucid Dream and said, "Hey, we really love your art. Would you want to vend?" And I was like, yes, I would. That would be awesome. So it was literally like the I think you guys recall, like, opportunities come after opportunity, and like it just builds more opportunities, and it's like a domino effect. And that's exactly what happened. So Lucid Dream was like an opportunity domino effect, and that led me to Showcation, which was really cool.
Is that how you get a lot of your jobs? Is kind of through like festival connections?
Well, this is like my first summer ever doing festivals, so this is really new to me. This is brand spanking new. What I realized for like this first 2 is that like they put me in the vendor section for this past one, and it was kind of in like a hiding spot, low key, so it really wasn't the greatest spot to like sell things. I sold like 2 rolling trays, which was really awesome. But again, I never care about the money because I always have what I need no matter what. And Universe was like, "Well, hey babes, you only need $30 because the experience that I had was just beyond amazing." It literally felt like I was playing a puzzle game with the universe, because I have been for like the past 3 years. And this one was like even bigger of a puzzle. Like universe was playing games with me, and it was so cool to like see happen and experience, because everything is connected. Like everything is connected. So when you start realizing that everything around you is saying something, you start realizing, oh my goodness. Have you ever heard the term, like, hear the ancient ones?
No? What is that?
So, basically, we're all connected. That means everything before and after us exists. So that means, like, all of our ancestors is basically all of us, all the past versions of us, anyone that was in your past life, whatever, like, around us. And so hearing the ancient ones means hearing the birds, hearing the sounds, listening to the wind, What else?
So like connecting with nature.
Yes, and like connecting to the things around you, because everything is speaking. Everything is connected. So it's like when you're trying to decipher the thoughts in your own head, that helps so much. And I guess this is like for people that are trying to get in tune to source and their ancestors and angels and whatnot, and are trying to hear or understand more of what they're being told. That's how you listen, because like a thought will go by. So I'll give you an example. I was sitting at the comedy club and I was like thinking, and each time it would, like somebody else was saying something, somebody would walk by me and blow wind on me. So it was the wind that was talking through me at that point, because there was no birds. It was nighttime. Oh yeah. I learned so much from Showcation. They really showed up Lucid Dream, and not in a bad way. Sorry, I love Lucid Dream. That was our first festival, but now I completely understand how we can make Lucid Dream even better. So I'm really excited to see how that goes.
Like, what made it so much better?
So Showcation, they had, they basically had their sets at specific times throughout the day, and it was scattered around. So Lucid Dream, we kind of had everything going all at once everywhere. So you couldn't really pick and choose. It would be like, there's 3 sets going on. Who do I choose to watch? And it's going all day. So I think we're going to definitely implement that into Lucid Dream. Well, I haven't even talked to John but I'm sure John understands. I was talking to Kaylin the other day, and we were like, damn, Showcation showed us up. But it's okay, because we learned. And I love that. Everything's a learning experience.
No, for sure. I think the first time you do anything, it's more about just getting it and seeing what works and what doesn't work than it is actually doing it right the first time. A lot of our jobs have been doing something that we've never done before. Like, I shot my first short film last year, like, on my own, and it was a mess. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was filmed in 12 hours, like, the entire short film. I got, like, a day's notice. It was chaos.
Oh
my editor, it was his first time doing a short film since like high school film class.
Oh my.
So it was like craziness. But we also figured out like, okay, if we're gonna do this next time, what does it look like? What do we need? How do we make this smoother? It was definitely more about doing best we could the first time and then getting better for the next one, for sure.
Right. And that's not like what life is. It's a learning experience to be here. And it's beautiful once you realize everything is a lesson and a learning experience. It makes everything so much more beautiful, because that short film was probably the catalyst to other short films, and you definitely learned better and made them even better. I wish I could do short films. I have so many ideas in my head. I want my life to be a movie.
Do it like Joelle.
You see, I was thinking more Motley Crue.
Fair enough. More documentary than futuristic sci-fi fiction that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I didn't even know J-Lo had a movie. I thought she was just an actress.
No. So she just released an album. This is like a little dated, but it's still current. So she just released an album. So like she did a music album. Mm-hmm. To go with that album, she then made a movie, like, in the same theme as the album. She then made a behind-the-scenes documentary about making the movie that goes with the album.
See, that reminds me of Logic and how he wrote Supermarket and then did a whole album to it. And that's what I'd do, is, like, it's kind of like my art, because I have music attached to all the songs, or songs attached to all the pieces. Which I kind of need to, like, get down and, like, actually make the playlist so that people can, like, scan a little QR code and be like, oh, this is the music that Joe thinks of when they made this piece.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
But that's so interesting that J-Lo did that. See, I don't like celebrity worship. Yeah. We're done with celebrity worship, okay? We're done with that. So you know how, sorry to, like, bring up the Bible, but it was something I saw on TikTok, and it was like, the prophecy of the stars falling wasn't about stars actually falling. It's about the celebrities falling.
That's interesting.
Because if you look at everything that's going on in the world, the prophecy's adding up. And it's not that, like, Jesus Christ is coming back. It's that fact that Christ consciousness is coming back, and that people that are tapped into this higher frequency of love and light and wanting the best outcome for people, like loving thy neighbor. I don't know why I said that, but anyways, yeah, that's what it's about. It's not like God's just gonna come through the sky and be like, whoa, here I am. No, it's us realizing that it's all within us and we are God experiencing the universe and what he created, because I am you and you are me.
Yeah, I'm definitely there with you. I think it's really interesting that it could be like celebrities following. That's been happening a lot though right now. Like the death of celebrity. I read an article kind of about that because
you're spending $75,000 on a Met Gala ticket. Meanwhile, Hunger Games is happening in real life. Sorry, we have to talk about this because it's wrong for us to not use our platform to talk about what's going on in the world, which is...
I definitely think it's ridiculous having celebrities kind of doing what you were saying, the Met Gala, and paying so much money to go to these things.
Yeah.
Wow. And I thought it was so Hunger Games how you had people protesting outside of it. Like, regardless of whether you agree with the protesters or not, the imagery of the theme that they had, which is based off of a book where it talks about the separation of, like, celebrities and regular people, and then you literally have them living that out where they're wearing ridiculous outfits, paying ridiculous amounts of money, and then they all, like, are talking like they're with this people in the protests, and then they're being yelled at. It's craziness.
So you remember how I said everything is connected, right? I believe movies have been prophecies, or so, like, if you believe in... Why would I say if you believe? Collective consciousness exists. We all know this. And, like, when I was younger, I was always like, what if these are actually ideas that are happening in real life, but they're being channeled into movies to kind of prepare us into, like, understanding more and whatnot, like aliens and whatnot. And if you don't believe aliens exist by now, I'm sorry. They're real.
No, don't do that.
Hey.
They're not real.
Oh my God, why do you say that? We cannot be the only thing
they
here.
They are not real,
They
man.
have literally proven their... You're going to make my blood boil, Hunter. You're going to make my blood boil, because I'm not trying to convince you.
We'll do this another day. We'll do this another day.
I'm not trying to convince you of anything, but we are not the only things on this, in this universe. We simply cannot be. That is just one-dimensional thinking, I feel like.
Scientific thinking.
No, actually,
Continue.
Science and spirituality go hand in hand with each other. Thank you. We could do this all
I know,
day.
and both things say there's not other things there.
Cap. If you go inside yourself enough, you can connect with interdimensional beings, which I have, as you can tell with my art. It's like, I'm proving this right to you. Like, this shit did not come from my brain. Like, I literally saw images of another being, and I was just like, oh, let me paint you.
No, okay. I will give you angels, I will give you spirits, if that's what you want to call it, and God.
And ancestors.
What I'm saying is... Sure. What I'm saying is just the idea that just other, let's say, sentient life that's more or as... something that's as developed or more developed than us. That's what I don't
want you to look into, like, Arcturians and avians and whatnot, because I don't want to have to teach you anything on it, because, you know, I want it to come to you when you're ready, because you're obviously not ready. 15-15 on my thing. There's change coming, babes. Change is coming. Ooh, get scared. No, just kidding. Everything is okay, because, like, and I think everyone thinks that, like, the aliens are going to come down here and be, like, evil. It's like they're not, because where our soul comes from is love and light. Like, love and light is natural to us. That state of being is what we're supposed to be. But, you know, being down here on human Earth, we developed from survival, being placed in a planet where there's things killing you. So that builds up generational trauma and fear and whatnot and hate. So it's like, you know how they say, like, if what is it? I can't even remember, but
regardless, back to because I did want to talk about the fall of the celebrities, because I think it's a good point. What I found was, did you see where they weren't inviting influencers to the Met Gala?
Yeah, because it's like the Met Gala. Ooh.
Okay, agreed.
But, like, what's going on in the Met Gala?
Right? That's what I'm saying. We're having people who haven't been relevant for how many years, but then we're not... Like, listen, I fully support not inviting the influencers. I think, as someone who was in the industry as a kid, I think it's ridiculous what we're doing. Like, people popping off for absolutely zero talented reason. Hate me if you want. I stand by that. And then them being invited to spend tons of money at these events is ridiculous. But I do think it's funny that the trend of, like, the TikTok star kind of thing seems to be dying a little bit. Like, the hype houses are falling apart, and, like, all these people are actually having to develop talents or not talents. I think
because it's the fact that so many people have been placed on a pedestal for having absolutely no skill, talent, or giving anything to the world, and then they're given a ton of money to not even contribute back into the world. Like, how are you going to have all this money that you can't even spend in a lifetime and not even give back and not even help communities around you? That hurts my soul. Like, it makes me want to cry, because I'm like, why were you given the money? But that's where this whole age of Aquarius is breaking that down. Celebrity worship is falling apart because we're realizing, like, these people are not it. They are not the people that should be idolized or given a platform, because they have nothing to say. Like, why aren't you speaking out? And, like, what, we had to go through the block trend just to get celebrities to speak out? That's kind of a little... This is so dystopian that I literally scroll on TikTok and I'm trying, the main thing I can do is literally like, comment, repost, save videos to give it traction to help other people make money, is happening in our life. And, like, we read about that in school, and it was like, we were like, oh shit, if we were during that time, I would have spoken up. Well, the time is here to speak up, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely easy in hindsight to say what you would do, but when you're living through it, it's so much harder.
And that's why I'm finally deciding to speak up, because in 20 years from now, like, what side did you want to be on? The people that stayed silent or the someone that fought? You know? And the only thing that we can do is spread more love into our own communities. So all we can do is try to basically, like, what is it? Deflect the darkness by shedding even more light into the world, you know? And giving that love and light, and understanding that, like, understanding what? Just being love is going to help it out in the end, and connecting with community. I really want to start gardening. Sorry, random thought. You guys, if you guys haven't noticed by now, I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Okay, let's jump gardening, I guess. Why do you say that? Why do you want to start gardening?
Well, because everything is fake in stores. Like, also, I tried some homemade grown strawberries, and they tasted even better than what was in the store. And it's like, once you start your own little farms, community can be built, because, like, why can't we all just take care of a little farm together? Like, I remember in high school, my one friend was always just like, why can't I just live in the woods and out of, like, technology and live off-grid and whatnot? And it's like, all of us really did want that high key. And we all are like, is this really it? And then also...
That's kind of why I moved to Texas. Like, a part of it was being able to afford to have land. That's why my family did anyway. Being able to afford land and be more self-sustaining. People are a little bit more spread out here, so people have to travel farther to kind of get resources, right? So a lot of people out here have, like, chickens or cows. They garden. We have a garden back at my parents' place. Exactly. And at least it helps you be more self-sufficient. You know what I mean? There's a much stronger culture here than in California of, like, storing up, having, like, emergency resources, having, like, a supply of, you know, basic grains and stuff. Right. So in case, like, a tornado or something happens. But being self-sufficient, I think, is something that everyone kind of wants, right? Yeah. At least I think it's something that everyone should want, is being able to rely on yourself.
Right. And it's like, the more power we give to the government, who doesn't even care about our voice, like, I hit something in there.
Oh yeah, I am big on not relying on other people.
Oh, me too. Like, born and raised hyper independent, man. I will not ask for help. I will not. It's taken me, like, even, like, with my own spirituality, finally having to submit and ask for help from my angels and God, and the team and the universe, like, that took a lot in me because I was just so stubborn that I was like, no, I can do it on my own. I can figure it out. It's like, babes, just release it. Just give it to God. Seriously, like, when he says give the doubts, worries, and fears to him, he will literally take it. Like, you just got to ask for help. Like, I remember one day I had a horrible mental health day. I was in my shadow, and I finally was just like, can you help me? And then literally, like, 10 minutes later, I felt amazing. Also, sitting with your shadow. Ooh.
Letting yourself kind of be in a darker
Letting
place.
yourself bed rot. Ooh, snaps to that. Sometimes we need that. And, like, for me, I really embody love and light all the time. I truly feel like I don't have any ill will, muscle, or fiber in my body. So it's like being that light and healing other people all the time. You're going to collect other people's shadows, and it's going to make you get clogged up. So then you have to sit with your own self and those shadows to make even more room so that you can go and heal the next time, which is what happened to me this week. Sunday and Monday, I bed rotted, and it felt so great just to do nothing, because, like, the whole point of being a human being is to be. So sometimes you just have to submit and just be and just exist. And that's like when, like, the dark night of the soul comes in, and it's teaching you to stop doing everything because you need to just be. That's the first purpose of being here. The second-hand purpose is your purpose, and I'm finally figuring out what mine is, and I'm so grateful.
I think that's why it's so important to get off of social media sometimes too, is be like kind of going into that rotting thing of like being with yourself, no matter what state of mind you're in or like what phase of your life you're in, being able to get away from the things that are distracting you.
Being present.
And like absorbing you. Yeah, be present with whatever you're feeling, especially I think when you're struggling or if you're having a hard time, because disappearing into other things, different forms of media, is not going to fix that, right?
It's not going to fill the void.
And I definitely think God's calling you to kind of be with him and with yourself at that time,
yes!
right?
Yes, you need a season of isolation sometimes.
Yes, 100%.
And that's what I just went through. I went through my season of isolation, went through my season of preparation, and then season of testing. And there's seasons, like, one thing about the universe is it is going to constantly test you. It is going to bring up those old cycles to see if you truly healed. And, like, it's the way you react to those situations. So, like, I hit my elbow the other day. And one thing about me is, like, whenever I would get hurt, it would piss the living out of me. The living out of me. Like, my blood would boil. I would be... I don't even know. That wrath came up. But I literally hit my elbow the other day, and I go, oh, I'm sorry, Wall. Like, that just happened. And they're probably like, yes, Joe, good job. I also want to talk about the gallery that I did this past weekend.
Yes, okay. So, you had a gallery recently. Yep. How did that go?
It was a private gallery, so, like, okay, I'm not even going to lie. I was kind of stingy with who I invited because my energy is not wanting to be with everyone, you know? So I'm sorry if you weren't invited. It wasn't anything against you. It was just the fact that it was at my house, and I need to be careful about who I bring into my house because it's my home, you know?
Valid.
And also, I don't want to deal with anybody, like, stalking me because that's a scary thought. So it was about 10 people. They ended up coming in, like, 3 groups of people, and I set up my art all around my house, set up lights. It was all beautiful. And then I practiced my, what's it called? My little teaching thing that I'm getting ready to do at One Zen this week, which is an inner child transmutation. And I have them right here. I have everyone's little example. They're so cute. It made me so happy because I was like, I was writing it and I was like talking to spirit. Also, guys, if you don't know, you can talk to spirit through coins and dice. But I was just sitting there like, what is this going to do? Is this even going to help? And then as like they were doing it, I could see it like helping, and it was just like they were literally being children again. And that's what I wanted. I want that inner child to come out and play. And the point of it is to just release emotions, thoughts, beliefs, things that you're not thinking about, the shadow side that just needs to be released. So I say don't think, just art. I got that from this person named Nathan that I met last year, who's kind of like the first person to mention God to me in a long time. Yeah, Nathaniel, I remember him telling me, he was like, Joelle, like Joelle the prophet. And I was like, oh, don't say that. Don't say that. But what's really weird is that like my art is kind of prophetic, because I literally feel like I make my own tarot cards or explain what's happening in my life. And I wasn't even realizing it until after the fact, which was crazy. But anyways, back to the gallery. They loved the inner child healing, and I'm so excited for One Zen. This is the first big festival that I'm doing, so I'm really excited.
So you did a gallery, you tested a little bit of teaching. Is that what you were doing at this last event that you went to?
No.
Or is that what you're about to go to?
This is what I'm about to go to. So the last event was still me getting my feet on the ground, testing the waters, and realizing that I need my own camp space for Sip of Joelle. So come through to One Zen if you're going. Come to Camp Pineapples. I'll be with Camp Pineapples, and it's mental health awareness. And that's pretty much what all my art is also. All my art is a healing journey for myself. I mainly started making art to heal myself and my mental health. And I paused 1 second. I just found, it's really funny because I was like talking to my team and I was like, can you guys show me what I need to say, blah, blah, blah. And then I pick up this little notepad because I needed to write. And then I open it and I realized, like, you know, that whole episode that we did on, like, how to start planting seeds into your art career, which I think we need to redo and say planting seeds into your art career. How to plant the seeds into it. Because that's, you plant seeds and then you wait for the harvest. You wait for the fruit. So, and I was looking at this and I realized, like, I wrote down what is my art about and what do I want it to be. And again, emotional, colorful, saturated, chaotic, evoke emotions people didn't know existed, convert people into art appreciators, appeal to almost every genre, make my own genre, make people feel connected, have people know the meanings intuitively. And that's like, I think I've said this before, but that's what's happening because I planted those seeds. And the response to my art since I've been creating it has always been positive, which I'm so grateful for.
I think that is one of those things where you probably did it unintentionally, but pacing out what your life will look like in the future, like looking back what you want to have accomplished, makes it so much easier to then kind of go and become that person.
Yes, and then also, like, you have the power to choose your character. Now, so, like, when people say, like, oh, you can't just talk all this. Somebody did say this to me the other day. They said, you can't talk all this positive shit and expect the world to work out. And I said, excuse me, I did that and I completely flipped my entire fucking reality. I used to be depressed so, again, we're going to cry because I'm passionate. I used to be so depressed and I had to take the active steps into, it's pretty much brainwashing your subconscious and unrooting those beliefs that have been implemented because that's what you believe. And it's like, no, that's not true. You can create your own reality. And I don't mean making mountains and like growing a plant out of your hand. That's not what I mean. I mean, you can shift the reality you're in because there's so many different versions of you that have split off from every decision you made. And I remember my friend telling me, she was like, Joe, you're a room away from your highest reality. Like a room away. And that was like last year, maybe 2022. So I was like, okay. And now I feel like I'm in that room. Like, because I kept the positivity. I woke up every day. I said my gratitude. And it's not a linear journey. You're going to go like this, you know? I went into my worst reality before stepping into my highest reality because you have to clear them all. Like, you have to clear them. It's literally a video game we're playing. And when people say, like, oh my God, I wish VR was real. And I'm like, do you not realize we're playing VR right now? This is it. This is the here now. This is a dream. Like, our spirit is still up in spirit, but this here is a dream. And you got to make the most of it. And, oh yeah, back to picking your character. you can pick your character. You can call in what you want. And I called in what I wanted. Because I was like, I am not sticking to conventionalism. I cannot do a 9 to 5. It's not me. I am an artist. I have things to say. I have a story to share. I want to make an impact on people with my work. And here I am. Here the I am. It took 3 to 4 years.
I think that there are people who believe that they can't change because they don't want to put in the work to do it, right? I've definitely had that experience where recently I was kind of looking back because I just graduated college.
Congrats to Hunter! Yes! I'm so proud of my baby boy! Oh my god, I'm screaming into the mic. Sorry. Everyone give props to Hunter. He just worked his ass off. He took a fucking 8-hour test for, what was it? I don't want to get it wrong.
It was the MCAT. I just took the MCAT. I'm applying to med school right now.
We got an intellectual boy on the line.
Trying to become a doctor ultimately.
God,
so there's a whole bunch of work that's going into it.
You're going to be a doctor with actual good energy, and I'm so grateful for that. Because we need people in hospitals that actually care. Because why did all the mean girls become 100%. Nurses? Why did all the mean girls become nurses?
I'm not going to say you're wrong. It's definitely something that's been the medical field definitely needs a reevaluation, I think, because it is very interesting.
You know what would be cool?
To it.
If education was paid for so mere people could go into careers like nursing and like actually afford it. Like, that'd be so cool if like the American government stopped giving money to other countries and actually like focused on its own. That'd be like really slay. That'd be really like the little cherry on the cake.
Flip side to that, not saying I don't agree with you, but flip side, I think so many people need to accept alternative ways to get someplace too. Because my mom's a nurse, and she did it by going through. It took her forever. She did like a community college and then into nursing school. And she did it while I was growing up, which I think is kind of what inspired me wanting to get into the same field. But so she was doing it with 3 kids, going to community college and working. And
prices were lower back then, though, too. No, keep going. Not discrediting.
I mean, it was 2008, so it was like the recession. So actually it wasn't, but it still hurts. But it was so much cheaper for her because she didn't do a 4-year program for something that she didn't need to, right? She has the same degree that so many people who went to school with me who paid way more than she ever did, and they're making the same or less than her, right?
But also, I don't feel like you should have paid money to, like, if that's what you really wanted to do is be a doctor, like, bruh, I feel like you should have an all-access pass to education. Like, education should be free, high-key, because there's so many people that are so intellectually smart, but they don't have the resources to go to college. And yes, there are resources all around. There is free money everywhere. Like, do not convince yourself that money is limited. There is money everywhere. And when you're, like, in that receiving energy, you'll find the money. Like, don't chase it, attract it. You know, be a magnet.
You are only limited by the amount of effort you're willing to put in to find it, because it's out there. And that goes for everything, right? Like, depending on how hard you're willing to work.
Yep, abundance is a birthright, though. But what I'm realizing is I'm not having to put in as much work as I used to, because I'm finally stepping into, like, my feminine receiving energy where I'm like, okay, my idea of success has been determined by all these past people where they're busting their what they want, but I'm realizing I'm like, I don't have to do that. Like, I don't have to stress myself out to get to where I need to go, because time is unlimited. An affirmation that just pulled up on my phone today, which was really helpful, said, whoops. Man, where did I see it? Oh, there it is. It says, it is too early and it is also too late, which is why you have time. Oh, because you're in the right place at the right time. And God, he has everything planned out from the month, the week, the day, the hour, the second, from the music you listen to the places you go. Because, like, another thing I used to get really mad about was when my plans through my day would change, because like autism, I can't deal with that. But then I started accepting, like, okay, maybe this is just the actual highest
how
thing.
It was supposed to
yeah,
be.
how it was supposed to be. Like, this is exactly what had to happen. And that's okay. So that's like, I finally released that, that hate for when my day plans would change. Because I'm like, oh, that's just what it had to be today, you know? And that's like the truth. Like, time is unlimited and you are in the right space at the right time every single time.
Did you find that taking on that mentality helped with stress and depression? Is that something that kind of freed you from some of that?
Yes, because it's like, oh, maybe not everything is in my control. It's not. And when, like, oh, I love that I wrote that, because it's like surrendering to the universe. I think we've talked about this before. Giving it to God and the universe and be like, okay, you know what? You gotta get pissed off, honestly. Like, you're gonna get pissed off. And that's when you're gonna, like, try to change. It's like, change doesn't happen until you're fucking fed up with it. And, shit, what were we talking about? We said change. Okay, so yeah. So when I finally, like, accepted that, it's like, just a wave, a wash of just, oh, it really just had to happen like that. And it makes you realize, like, not everything is in control, is in your control, but everything has a specific reason and purpose. So it kind of just gives you a way to just breathe and be like, oh, okay, damn. Okay, I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
No, it definitely gives you a sense of peace. And honestly, for me anyway, it gave me I realized that I had to give myself a little bit of grace and forgive myself for when things don't go exactly how I thought they were, because I'm a control freak, right? Like, I have everything down to, like, how it needs to look, how it needs to go, and giving myself the grace for things not to go that way and to be able to kind of accept and have peace with the fact that I will get where I want to go as long as I keep going.
Yep, and
right?
I love, like, our, what is it? Our differences are, like, still the same, because I'm like, you just speak it into existence, it'll happen. And you're like, I have to write down every step into existence and it'll happen. And that's so true. Both work. But the thing is that, like, I did write down everything. When I say you can write your way out, just like Hamilton did, you can write your way out of your reality. Fucking do it. Choose your character, embody that character. It's going to take a while. But know that the lesson in the journey is here for a reason. Okay, but continue with your control freak shit.
Yes. So being able to give up and accept that God's plan is always going to be greater than your plan, and that, like you were saying, the journey isn't smooth, right? And so you're going to make mistakes. Things are going to happen that are completely out of your control. And I have become so much happier being able to forgive myself for mistakes that I've made, and then giving myself grace for things not going exactly how they need to.
Exactly.
It is so relieving, right? Like, you are able to work that much harder and be more committed to something when you're able to release the specifics of how you're going to get there.
Yep.
And give in to, I will get there eventually. I just have to stay committed and keep working towards it.
And that's, like, what my 4-year journey has been, is, like, I knew no matter what, everything was working out for my highest timeline. Like, and that's, like, again, we talk on faith a lot. And I just remember, I just interacted with a friend, and it kind of crushed me because I could see how destroyed her faith was. It wasn't there. And I'm just like, damn, like, if I could just give you the faith that I have inside of my body to give to you, but, like, it's something you have to learn on your own. And it all starts with gratitude and being grateful for where you are in the here now, and grateful for the bad things that happened, grateful for the good things that happened. Gratitude is the thing that's going to immediately start boosting your mood when you're grateful for the smallest things in life: the sky, the trees, the stars, the moon, the sun, the earth. And
100%.
And yeah, everything is God's plan. Like, higher powers plan. I have to let you guys know, I use the word God because it has a very high collective consciousness power to it. Because I know it's creator. It's just creator. Like, we can give it any name.
Oh yeah, I've read a bunch of theology books
Yeah.
and stuff, and I think people get so hung up on the one definition of God when really all it means is that there's something that's greater than everything else.
I think this
right?
is actually just part of my own religious trauma. I think it's actually part of my own religious trauma. It's not just you, though.
In all fairness,
yeah.
Because there was an entire age of theology, like at the beginning when we started defining all this stuff, where there was a theologian named Anselm, right? And he wrote a thing saying that, listen, we all need to be, if we can all agree that there's something that's greater, right? That everything had to come from something, and therefore you have to have something that's the greatest, right? Which he then goes on to say, let's just call that thing God. He kind of gives up the argument that, like, this has to be God. He establishes the argument that for sake of being able to talk about this, because it's so much greater than we'll ever be able to understand, right? We have to call it something. And so calling it God is just the default because it's the easiest definition for something.
Yeah, and like I just went past somebody's live and it said, God isn't real, but he exists. And that was like, yeah, because this paper is God. This vape is God. This microphone is God. Like, it's all creation. What you gonna do about it?
It all had to come from somewhere.
It all had to come from somewhere. And if you look at Dr. Michael Newton's book, damn, why did I forget the name of it? Oh, The Journey of Souls. He has about 7,000 past life regressions where people go into a past life, go into the spirit realm. Avatar The Last Airbender is very real, guys. We have a lot more power inside of these bodies than what we have been led to believe, because there has been, I don't even know the exact number, but trillions of dollars spent to keep us asleep, keep us from realizing our true power and how magical it is here. It's magical. What do you mean plants are growing out of the ground? How does that even happen? And like, everything is magical here. And when you start treating this place as like Harry Potter world and like all the things that you've seen with magic in it, like, it's true. There's just things that happen that are just like so magical that you're just like, huh? What? I love how derailed we get. I love an ADHD brain vomit topic.
These things never end where we started.
Right. No, literally. And it's beautiful because there's one thing. Oh, it's going to take me 3 years to do it. Okay, the time is going to pass anyways. So are you going to do it?
3 years are going to come and go whether you do it or not. Like, you might as well do what you love.
Thinking about to 3 years ago right now gives me full body chills because holy shit. The development, the journey, the growth. And it's like, you don't want to be a year from this point in time and be in the same spot. And that's something that motivates me. It's like, I was sick enough, I was fed up enough to be like, I need this change. I need change so bad that I would put the work in and meet the universe halfway. Like, that's what I finally did. I was like, yo, let's meet halfway. And so we are. And it's real cute. It's a real cute relationship. Definitely give yourself time to build a real relationship with God and the universe and the higher powers, because it's going to help you out in the long run.
For sure.
I feel like, I don't know if we covered this or not, but there's a lot of people that live surface level of it. And it would be really unfortunate to get to the other side and be like, oh yeah, I knew you. But it's like, no, you didn't actually know me. Like, universe, and being like, oh, that's like a fake friendship sometimes, but I don't want people to have fake friendships with the universe. That would be so sad. Mm-mm. No, and I think it's more in like older generations. Sorry if you're watching this and whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's everybody, it's just, but also like, I don't know everyone's full story, so.
Everyone has a different journey with it, I think.
Exactly.
And how deep someone goes is ultimately up to them, right? And there's only so much that God can do to bring you to him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to be willing to have your life changed.
Yeah, and ask for the help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you are hyper independent like Hunter and I, we're stubborn. I'm stubborn. I know I'm stubborn. Like, goddamn, I am thick-headed or hard-headed and stubborn, and finally, when I asked for help, the change happened. And I think that's beautiful.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss another episode. We have a bunch of content coming out for you guys, some behind-the-scenes stuff like the vlog we just released. Go ahead and check that out. We'll have a link up above for that.
If you are a little festival person and you're going to One Zen this weekend, it's at Four Quarters Interfaith Sanctuary up in Pennsylvania. I am hosting a inner child healing workshop. Also, I started doing rolling trays also. Let me get up to the camera so that they can see them. And these are available mainly in person. If you guys love what these look like, is this even focusing? Okay, if you guys love what these look like, I am totally down to do even more batches of these. But that's all dependent on your guys' feedback. So definitely let me know if you guys are eating these up. I am. They're so cute. But yeah, if you guys want to see those on the shop, let me know. Next up is One Zen. Come through to that. Get some healing on. Get your flow on. Dance. Get crazy. Release your inhibitions. Anyways, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. This is the longest podcast episode, but I think this was really fun. This was a lot better because Hunter and I literally talk so much off camera that we ruined the podcast.
Yeah, we needed this for sure.
This one was good. All right. Thank you so much for watching and getting a little sip of Joelle. We'll see you next time.